I'm here to educate you about the single biggest Chad on our planet. It is a creature that wanders the earth alone. It is half bear, half man, and half Ollie. Bearman doesn't care who you are or what you've done. Bearman simply exists to get you. I'm super serial. Welcome to Fiends, where the F1 never ends, and someday everyone will say, "Thank you, Stacey Hewen. You are awesome," and subscribe to my channel. Okay, that's enough of the Al Gore voice. Ollie Bearman made his Formula 1 debut in Jeddah and won Driver of the Day. He was originally set to start on pole in the F2 race, but found himself in the Ferrari seat thanks to some backroom dealings with Carlos Sainz's appendix. This isn't the first time a driver's organs failing has allowed someone to make their Formula 1 debut. I think back to 2022 when Alex Albon's appendix burst and Nick de Vries got to score the only points he would ever score in Formula 1. Woof. But unlike Nick de Vries, who already had saggy balls by the time of his first F1 race, Bearman still had the umbilical cord attached as he made his debut at just 18 years old. The icing on the cake, Bearman got to make his debut in a Ferrari, since he's the backup driver for Haas and Ferrari. Yes, it was luck of the draw that Ferrari happened to need him first, and sure, first time out in a Haas would be a lot less pressure. But debuting in the Ferrari gave him the opportunity to shine. And he did. Missing out on Q3 by a sea hair, he started out in 11th and finished in 7th, earning himself 6 points and 10th place in the Drivers' Championship. Given the performance of the backmarkers this year, there is a very good chance that he finishes around 15th in the championship, beating out drivers that will have been in 23 more races than him.
Fucking embarrassing! Fucking embarrassing!
Fucking embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing! Fucking embarrassing!
Oh, well, that's embarrassing.
Speaking of embarrassing, it's time for the Canadian summary of the Grand Prix. Lance Stroll is a goddamn embarrassment. He was the only person who did not finish the race due to stupidity. He was cutting a corner too close and didn't check himself, so he wrecked himself. Just like he's wrecking Canada's reputation. My God, I think I would have rather Latifi been our legacy than Lance Stroll. Yes, Lance is an objectively better driver, but he is now 7 years in and is still driving like he's playing Gran Turismo with the damage turned off. Meanwhile, a train of British drivers took 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th in this race. It reminded me of that time me and 5 British dudes ran a train on your mom. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Bearman really showed off his skills towards the end of the race as he held off both Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, who are on new softs. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly, who had to retire his car immediately after the race start, looked like a contestant on a survival show who hasn't eaten in 2 days watching the cameraman eat a cheeseburger. I would say Pierre Gasly is about as impressed with Alpine right now as Christian Horner was with all the reporters at the press conference who wouldn't stop asking him questions about Horner's whole hog barbecue. And that brings us to our poll of the week, where I asked, do you believe the leaked Christian Horner messages and pictures are real? 47% of respondents said yes, they look real, while the remaining 53% said no, they look fake or AI generated. And I think now that AI image and video generation is getting so good, this is going to become an increasingly common defense. People will just claim things are AI generated whenever evidence is leaked, and it will be really difficult to verify it. It's the new, "it wasn't me" defense. In other news, Christian Horner announced he's featuring in a new song with Shaggy called "It Was AI." I sent a text that would linger. It was AI. Blurry pics of my finger. It was AI. Oh, you stuck around to the end of the video? Well then, I guess I owe you the spicy joke of the week. Fans of husky men around the world were excited when they heard a Bearman would be entering Formula 1. They were all sorely disappointed when they saw that Bearman was actually an 18-year-old European twink. Picture this while I'm ending this episode, leaving you wanting more. If you liked it, then you should watch this vid about Christian's horn. How could I forget that I had talked about that whole leak? All the time they raced in Bahrain, I was staring at his PP.